Saludos, buenas tardes. Gracias por conectarse con nosotros a través de las redes sociales, a través de Facebook Live, YouTube Live, también a través de OBM Radio Live. Estoy muy contenta, muy feliz de compartir con todos ustedes en esta tarde, declarando bendiciones sobre sus vidas. Hoy tenemos un programa muy lindo porque el invitado que estoy a punto de presentarles está aquí en vivo con nosotros en la cabina, en los estudios de OBM Radio. Les damos la bienvenida al programa Viva las Tardes con Elaine, pero esta es una versión especial porque nuestro invitado habla inglés. Así que vamos a hacer una transición de Viva las Tardes con Elaine a Live in the Afternoons with Elaine. And I want to present to you today my special guest, Steve Higgins. Welcome, Steve. Thank you for being with us this beautiful afternoon here in Florida.
It's lovely, and good afternoon to everyone who is listening. ¿En español o inglés?
Oh, so you do speak Spanish?
No, that's the only Spanish I speak.
Oh. Okay, here I am, excited that he's about to speak Spanish, and I've been preparing all this time.
Lo siento mucho.
It's a pleasure to have you here this afternoon. We have spent time together in other events here, so it's been quite wonderful to hear you sing.
Thank you.
Sing beautiful.
Thank you.
And we've been talking how you've been traveling.
Yes.
So tell us all about it.
Oh, sure. Well, first of all, I'm from Jamaica. And somos vecinos, no?
Yes.
Yes. I'm from Jamaica. I grew up in a place called Morant Bay to the east of Kingston. And when I finished high school, I had to go to Kingston for university. So that's where I started to to join a number of singing groups, like the internationally acclaimed Jamaican folk singers. Wow. And I sang with the Operatic Society, Jamaican Musical Theatre Company. We did a lot of musical theatre then. So any musical you can think about, Student Prince, My Fair Lady, Pirates of Penzance. We did a lot of music then, and then I became the choir director for my church, which is Providence Methodist Church in Kingston, and as well as Saxthorpe Methodist Church. And so I started to put together a lot of music in church, and people heard me sing, and they asked me to join the choir before I became the choir director, obviously. And then when I was given a solo on the choir, I was asked to sing at a funeral or at a wedding or at a banquet, and people just kept asking me for business cards. And I didn't have any business cards. I just sang. But soon I started printing business cards, and then within a couple of years, I started having my own shows. And so I did religious programs, religious shows. In fact, in Jamaica, Reverend Dr. Byron Chambers and myself were on Love TV, Love Television, and Love Radio. We did what's called a Methodist Connection. And that was a show where we did hymns every week. And I put together choirs for that. That was all in Jamaica. And then with the Jamaican folk singers, we started to tour Central America. We went to Costa Rica, Limon. We went to England, the UK. We did London, Manchester, Walsall, Birmingham, all over. And all over Canada as well. Drummondville, where they speak French, and all over, a number of places. And so I left Jamaica in 2001 and came here, and I just continued.
Steve, tell us a little bit about your upbringing.
Oh.
Did you ever know that at one point in time that you were going to be a singer?
No.
Wow.
No. As I said before, people heard me sing, and they asked me, "Can you sing at this wedding, please? Can you sing at this funeral, please? We're having a banquet, we're having a fundraiser. We want to make some money for the church building fund. That church that never is completed.
Yes. We're always needing funds.
Yeah. So I started singing on for those functions. I never knew. I grew up in Moratby, as I said, at Coke Methodist Church, and my dad was the only man on the choir for a long time,
Wow.
and he sang bass. He came from a very musical family because his uncle played like 11 instruments. He's from a place called St. Mary, and he played like 11 instruments, and he was an organist at Roxborough United Church in St. Mary. And all my family, if they're not singers, they used to play the organ or the piano or something. So I'm from a really musical family. And my mom, she loved classical music. So I got that appreciation for the classics and for what I call the music from her. So then, my music is it's across many genres. It's across reggae. I do some reggae. I do some bachata. I do classical. I do jazz. And some of these songs that are here, like the prayer that was done by
Yes.
Bocelli, that's on here. Or Blue Mountain, the Ave Maria. I know you guys love the Ave Maria, and by Schubert. And so that's what really led me to do music. And like I said, it was just a response to request from people to sing here, to sing there. And then I started to do romantic ballads and more classical music from, Broadway and that sort of stuff. So yeah.
Steve, how is your relationship with God and how did that start?
Well, it started because I grew up in church. From I was like yay high in church, and so I didn't have the what a lot of people who would have the immediate um, hallelujah moment, because I that's how I grew up.
Yes, that was all around you.
It was all around me, and my dad always was a preacher. He was a local preacher, and so it was just the next thing to do because I was growing in the faith. I was always in competitions, recitals. I always sang for different harvests and etc. And I was in the youth band at church.
Wow.
So I grew up in faith, really, and never left it. But I'm glad you asked that question, because many times people will sing and I don't believe them, because we are spiritual beings having a mortal experience. And if I can't touch you with my voice and with the sentiments and the lyrics that's coming from me, I'm not doing any justice. And so sometimes, you're not 100%, and you wake up, you're not 100%, and you know what that 100% feels like when you're delivering as a singer, and didn't quite feel that way. And somebody said, "Oh, you are marvelous." I don't believe them because I know how I feel. You understand? And at the end of the day, I have to account for taking the message and for knocking it out the park. And a lot of times, like especially at a funeral service, if I don't see you doing this, which means that you're getting goose pimples, or if I don't see your eyes get all misty, I'm not touching you. You understand?
Mhm.
So I set a very, very high bar, because there are different ways that people see Christ, through the word, through the message, and through the music. Mine is through the music.
And you want to be that vessel
I've always been.
to be able to transport,
That's the word.
to be able to connect with God
That's the
with
word.
that message.
Hmm. That's the word. Yeah.
And that's important because that's a responsibility
It's a big responsibility.
as an interpreter
Yeah.
of a message that needs to come across.
Yeah.
And it needs to transform.
Yeah.
When that person receives that message,
Hmm.
that song entirely, the melody, everything
Yeah.
is put together.
It's
there's a
serious.
transformation.
Yeah, it's
in
a
that
serious thing, and that is why people who sing, I mean, serious people who do serious music, I find that in our world today, if, depending on where you are and who you're with, a lot of people will take a singer for granted because everybody can la 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 and get a tune out, or they may want to not pay you. They want a free concert kind of thing. And well, that happened in other in other Caribbean countries. I'm sure it doesn't happen in Cuba. but when you talk about a serious responsibility, the number of people who have come to me and have said, when I die, I'd like you to sing. And I have to honor it. And when it started to happen with a lot of regularity, I started telling people, write it down and let your executor or let your wife, let your husband know, so that if and when it happens, they know how to contact me. There's a lady, she was 94 years old. It happened this year, 2020. I got a call from someone in Orlando because I have shows all over Florida and all over the United States. I got a call from this lady in Orlando. She was 94 years old. And she was very healthy and all that. And she was making it very well. And somebody called me on her behalf and said, Steve, Iris, Miss Iris Thomas, let's say for instance, she's 94 years old. She thinks she may not make it past 2020. And she's asked me to get in touch with you because she heard you sing 15 years ago.
Wow.
And want you to sing at her funeral service. And I said to her, well, give me her number. I need to call her now. Because if somebody is 94 is giving you that message, you have to jump on it.
Yes, definitely.
And when I called her, she was beside herself. She was like, I can't believe you have called me. You have no idea what it means to me and blah, 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 blah. And so after that call, she was left with the assurance that Steve will be there. Because when I give my word,
it's sacred.
It is.
Yes.
It is sacred.
Yes.
And I can give you many other, and I've had calls from people I don't know. Listen, whatever it's gonna cost, this is a request. She says that whenever she closes her eyes, you are the one that needs to deliver this. And I have to take it very, very seriously. Because at the end of the day, and how I've interpreted it, is that this is the last hurrah for that person before the service is done.
That's impressive to hear, that someone would call you and prepare in that way.
Yeah.
And normally you do need to prepare.
Yeah, you have to.
It's something that people don't like to talk about.
Yeah.
But it is a reality.
Mm-hmm.
You do need to prepare so things can play out the way you would like it when you are not here.
Exactly.
So
and it means the world to them.
Mm-hmm.
It means the world to them.
Oh,
fantastic. So it's something that I really, really take seriously.
Wow. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, and everyone listening throughout the program. And this program will continue on social media. Yes. So it's always good to talk about these things. These are things that are very important.
Yeah.
Especially to someone's life.
And people remember these things.
Yes, they do.
And it has got so popular with people to approach me with that request that I have to say, listen, I'll sing for your 90th birthday. I'll sing when you're alive.
Yes.
Don't call me when you're dead. Well, don't call me when you're dead. But you understand what I mean?
I don't think they'll call you.
No, I hope not. I have enough excitement.
Maybe a family member.
Yes.
Let's talk about sacred.
Sure. When I decided finally, and sacred is a CD.
Yes.
This is what I look like without a beard. This is a Corona beard.
Yeah.
when I decided that I was going to do my first CD, I said to myself, it has to be a sacred CD. And I wanted something to be there for everyone as well, which is why it has different rhythms, different beats. Um, the first song on it is called Aurora Blue Mountain. It promises that to you and all mankind will come peace, regardless of the sorrows, regardless of anything else. It's actually a Christmas carol because in Jamaica, where I'm from, it was written by Clyde Hoyt, a naturalized Jamaican. He's really from Guyana, became my friend. And I met him. I always loved the song. And I wanted to get permission and sort out all the copyright details. I mean, in Jamaica, a lot of them really didn't care about copyright those days. But I tried to find him. I didn't know if he was alive or dead because he was a very old man. And so I looked in the telephone directory. It was back in those days when we had telephone directories, and I saw his name, Clyde Hoyt. And so I called the number to speak to one of his relatives to find out if their grandfather if they would give me permission. And lo and behold, I heard, hello. I said, hello, I'm trying to find a relative of Clyde Hoyt. This is he? And this is who? Clyde Hoyt? It's you! I mean, I couldn't say, you're alive, I thought you're dead. I couldn't say that, But we became very, very close friends, And he told me all about that song, that we don't have snow or any of that in Jamaica, but we have the crisp breeze that comes from Blue Mountain. And the song is really Aurora Blue Mountain goes forth, this angel song, to you and all mankind comes peace today. Oh, come ye that labor, come ye heavy laden, to you and all mankind comes peace today. So that one is my absolute favorite. That's why it's the first one on the CD. The second one is the Holy City, which talks about Jerusalem. It talks about the New Jerusalem, and every other funeral that I sing, at which I sing, and I sing at many funerals, everybody wants this one because it's so powerful. It is so majestic. It tells a storyline. And this is one of the songs, Elaine, that you have to interpret it right for it to hit your soul. And at some point, if you can play it, it talks about, I heard the children singing, and they thought the voice of angels from heaven in answer rang. And then Jerusalem, lift up your voice and sing, Hosanna in the highest, and then it goes straight into the New Jerusalem and gives a promise of hope of salvation to all who's left behind. So that is why that is really loved by a lot of folks, especially at funeral services. And the third one is the Ave Maria, which is a favorite, especially among Catholics, Anglicans, and people from Cuba. But the Ave Maria, you have different versions. I think it's about 12 versions of the Ave Maria, but this one is by Schubert. And this one I do in two different keys. The first verse in one key, and I take it much higher in the second verse. The fourth song on the sacred is called Parakeet. Now the parakeet, when I grew up, if you talk too much, you're called a parrot. Right? So a parakeet was this. It's a metaphor talking about Judas betraying the master.
Oh, wow, that's good.
So it says, I heard a parakeet in the garden. He was talking to the master alone. It was Judas betraying the master. He was selling him for 30 pieces of silver. And so that's the story behind the parakeet. The next song is Our Father, the Lord's Prayer. No, hang on, it's not Our Father. Let me see. The next one is, the Lord's Prayer, Our Father. And then we have Down from His Glory.
Yes, which we've been playing.
You've been playing Down from His Glory. Down from His Glory has that it's now or never rhythm. And I sing that during Christmas, during Easter. It's one for every season, Down from His Glory, because it talks about born in a manger and how Christ died. And the next one is a friend of mine, Richard Devon, he did "Oh the Holy Night," not "Oh Holy Night,"
No,
"Oh the Holy Night,"
Holy Night.
which is a Christmas carol that's followed by "How Great Thou Art." Now,
Wow.
"How Great Thou Art" is one of the favorite hymns in the Caribbean. But a lot of times, our Caribbean people murder this song. They don't sing it right. They sing it dead. You know, there's a lot of power behind this song. And so I try to bring it on with majestic instrumentation.
Oh wow, amazing.
I try to change the keys as the song goes along, and it ends on a powerful high. I've seen people cry when they heard that one.
Wow.
How Great Thou Art is a very, very, very powerful hymn.
Wow.
Yeah. And then we have the prayer, which is the one I mentioned earlier and done by Bocelli.
Yes.
Bless this house. Don't go into a new house without blessing it. Bless this house, and that was by May Beher Taylor. And I Come to the Cross. I Come to the Cross is the only one with a bachata and a reggae rhythm. And this was written by Noel Dexter. Noel Dexter is one of the foremost musicians in the English-speaking Caribbean, and he was my dear friend. We lost him last year. He passed away last year, but he was my very, very dear friend. And every time I'm having a Christmas concert and I fly to Jamaica, I'm like, Noel, what are we going to sing? I say, what you want? Yes, I'm speaking like a Jamaican now. What you want? I said, give me something upbeat, something lively. All right. And he look in his library. All right, take this one. All right, man. See you. Bye. So we lost Noel, but this one he asked me to include this one. It's called I Come to the Cross, like a small boat. And the last one is a prayer. It's called If Eternal Father, bless our land, guard us with your mighty hand. That happens to be the national anthem of Jamaica. And it's a beautiful prayer that gives you the gooses as well.
Wow.
So that's a sacred CD.
Wow. Beautiful.
Yes.
Let me hold that
Sure.
CD.
Sure.
And I'm going to ask you something I didn't ask you before
Sure.
the interview. If you can sing a little piece.
Sure. Which one? Which one?
Well, the prayer.
Ah. Do I have a minute to tell you the story about the prayer?
Yes, yes,
Okay.
you do. Yes, you do.
Okay. Once we were about to do the prayer, and half of the prayer is in Italian, and I totally forgot the Italian. And there was a Jamaican lady who was backstage with me, and she said, "Don't worry about the Italian. People don't know the Italian anyway, so they won't know that you're singing nonsense." I said, no, I don't operate like that. I have to remember the Italian. And as soon as we were ready to go back on stage, it all came back. And Delia and I sang it so well. We got a standing ovation. It was a packed church. Maybe about 400 people were there. And when we went and we sat down in the front, we realized that there were like 25 people behind, and one of them touched me and said, "Very well done." I said, "Thank you." I said, "We were listening. We're all Italians." So I had 24 Italians listening, and we got it right.
Thank God.
So the Italian, you know the prayer. You're gonna play that one?
Yeah, we'll play it after the program.
Okay,
Yeah,
fine.
for sure.
The Italian, the girl starts da 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 da, right? And then the guy comes in, la luce che tu dai nel cuore resterà a ricordarci che l'eterna stella sei nella mia preghiera quanta fede c'è, and it goes on.
Woo!
Lead us to a place, guide us with a grace, to a place where we'll be safe. Something like that.
Woo! Beautiful.
Yeah.
Thank you so much. That was awesome. Well, we have some people connected here.
Oh, yeah?
Yes, we have our evangelist psalmist Vicky Romero.
Hey, Vicky, how are you?
And we have Diana Nieves. Hi,
Hi,
how
Diana.
are you? We have some people here, very happy. Anna R. Gout. Anna Gout
Hello, Anna.
says, blessings to everybody. Thanks for this beautiful message. Wow, thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. And Vicky saying hi.
Hey, Vicky. And if anybody wants to
Yes.
contact my website is www.stevehigginsproductions.com. That's www.stevehigginsproductions. That's STEVEHIGGINS productions with an S.com.
And Steve wants to give away
Yes.
this beautiful CD.
Yes.
So, what should we have the audience do?
Okay, the first person who calls in and tells me one of the songs that's on the CD. How about that?
The first message that I get, and then I will immediately ask you to forward me your address and your information that
There you
I can
go.
get in touch with you, and we'll be happy to send this CD your way.
Yeah, there you go. That's nice.
I wanted to ask you your relationship with God.
Yes.
How does that work when you are actually interpreting
Uh-huh.
a song with a beautiful message like the one you've been talking to us about during this time?
Well, um, every song has lyrics and every song has a melody. Um, when I said earlier on that you have to sing so that it touches people, you have to sing so that people believe you. It means going into the words, closing your eyes, putting yourself there. You know, if we're singing How Great Thou Art, you know, if you're singing Then Sings My Soul, your soul has to sing. What happens before your soul sings? You have to forget everything that's outside, okay? And you have to have a one on one. You understand?
Yes.
You have to have a one on one. So then sings my soul, my Savior God to thee. You're praising Him.
Yes.
How great thou art. How great thou art. So you can do, then sings my soul, my Savior God to thee. How great thou art. Right? The great. And you have to grow it. How great thou art. How great thou art. So the great, you know, it has to come out of you.
Yes.
You can't go, how great thou art. How great thou art. No.
Yeah, I understand
You
completely.
understand?
You have to connect
You have to
with
connect.
the message.
Yeah.
That's connecting with God.
Yes. Yes. Yeah. And then you connect. And but the thing about it, though is that you have to, as a messenger, you cannot get emotionally involved. So if it reaches me, I cannot be all emotional about it. I have to remember I am the vessel. Because if it reaches me, I can be shattered. I turn into putty and I, whatever, you know.
Yeah.
You cannot do that. You have to make sure that you remember it's your duty to get the message out.
Yes,
Because
the right way.
the right way. And you will find, just like that 94-year-old woman, people don't forget. In fact, there's another lady who, no, this is a gentleman. He's in his 70s. And I called him to wish him happy birthday, or it was his birthday and I crashed a party or some such thing. I do that, those kind of weird and wonderful things. And he got through to me from the website and he asked me for one of the CDs. And I said, oh, you're finally getting one of my CDs. He says, Mr. Higgins, this is not the first CD I'm purchasing from you. In fact, I got one from you years ago. And when my mother was dying, she asked me to put on your music, and she left this earth listening to your music. So I just sent him a free CD. You know, he shut me up with that one.
Wow.
You know, oh yeah.
How does it feel when you get all these messages and all this information? That's testimony that your message or the message that you are actually forwarding with your
Mhm.
music is
The,
people are receiving it.
the first thing is that you're just a messenger. So I learned very early in life not to take myself too seriously. So if somebody tells me, hey, this sounded so good, I said thank you, and I'll just keep it moving, you know. So in Jamaica, you have a saying where you get swell headed, that kind of stuff, or you get too big for your britches, or you think too much of yourself. Nah, because I realize that that's just a gift, and every one of us has a gift. The gift was given to us, it can be taken back from us. Life was given to us, it will be taken back from us. So during the time, you respect the gift, you use it as it should be used. Don't get all important with yourself. Don't take yourself too seriously, and keep it moving. And that's it.
Wow, that's true
No, it's a
because
serious thing.
it's a very serious thing that you use the gift properly
Mm-hmm.
and that you make sure that the message does do its function.
Yeah.
It reaches the people
Yeah,
and it transforms the lives.
it has to. And you know, it's not every day that someone wants to hear this type of music. Some people just want to hear it on a Sunday or on a Saturday or whenever they worship, you know. And and your style, people use the sacred as a companion. So they stick it in their radio or have it on their or download it,
Mhm.
and they listen to it when they have a long commute because of the messages in the CD and because of the different rhythms. You never get bored.
Yes.
It's one message with one rhythm, and then a totally different message with another and and when you listen to that CD on your way back from work, you could be having the worst day. It calms you down,
Yes.
and it's food for your soul.
And it relaxes you.
It relaxes you totally. And I remember I've heard there's one particular friend overseas in the Caribbean who's told me that she played my CD until it stopped working.
Oh my God.
And I said,
Wow.
but you hear the same song every day. This is just, I mean, don't shoot the messenger. She tells me, I play it every day and I don't get tired of it.
Wow, that's wonderful.
And that's okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, yeah,
That's wonderful.
yeah. But I need to do a couple of songs in Spanish.
Yes. Yes.
Seriously.
Yes. For sure. Then you have to come back.
Yeah.
You have to sing it here.
Yeah. I need to. I need to. What I'll do is ask you for some suggestions.
Oh, okay. Well, I can give you some suggestions for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, why not?
And maybe some of your listeners can help with that.
That's
You know the kind of
true.
voice I have, so
Oh yes. Beautiful,
yeah,
beautiful
yeah,
voice. It's a gift from God.
it is.
Not everyone has a voice as the one you possess,
Thank you.
and it is a pleasure. It really is a wonderful, wonderful opportunity to have you here and to engage with our radio listeners and the audience. Once the program is out, it's going
Yes.
to reach a lot of people
Yes.
and they'll connect with your music because this particular program,
Mhm.
once again, plays on air next week at 8 p.m. And there we will have a lot of your songs playing.
There you
So
have it.
there,
Yes.
you
Yes.
need to connect next week
Yes.
at 8 p.m.
8 p.m.
And that'll be next Monday.
At 8 p.m.
Yes,
EDT.
yes, at
Yes.
8 p.m. And there'll be a lot of surprises we'll have for everyone.
Yes, yes, yes. And again, to reach me by website
Yes,
is www.stevehigginsproductions.com, or you can find me on Facebook, singer Steve Higgins, and there is a Facebook Steve Higgins Productions page as well.
wonderful.
And if not, call OVM Radio. Elaine will tell you all about it.
Definitely, definitely.
Yes.
He's part of OVM Radio.
There you go. There you go.
Steve, what message can we give the audience this beautiful afternoon?
The beautiful afternoon is in the middle of our pandemic. The message is just hold on, think of each other, reach out to each other, pray hard, and do responsible things to preserve life, because it's a time of prayer, it's a time of testing, it's a time to reinvent yourself. Because if you're working in productions and stage, nobody's gathering. You have to reinvent yourself, and you have to do other things. But pray about it. It's a time, like I said, to reach out to other folks. Think about people you haven't heard from in a long time. It's still a beautiful world. And let's be sensible about how we come out of this pandemic.
And let's unite.
We have to unite, regardless.
Mhm.
We have to unite. We have to unite among races, whether it be Latin, African Americans, Afro Caribbeans, Afro Latinos, Indians, Chinese, Caucasians. We have to unite.
Yes.
You know, God made us all. Everybody has a soul. You prick anybody, and blood comes out of us. You know, so it doesn't matter what party you're voting for in this election season, whether it's Republican, Democrat, Independent, or Green, or otherwise. Come on, we have to unite around our commonness, or what makes us tick, and we just have to pray for each other.
Yes, definitely put God first.
Yeah.
Put values,
Yeah.
very important.
Yeah.
We need to keep them.
Mm-hmm.
And we want to bless you. We want to thank everyone that has joined us during the half an hour that we've come together.
It's half an hour already?
Yes.
It's done?
It's coming to the end of the program. But it's been wonderful.
It's been wonderful
You've been
seeing
wonderful.
us, chatting with you as well.
Thank you so much, Steve. We
Thank you,
welcome you
Abby.
back
Yes.
whenever you have a new production or
Yes.
something you just want to share with us.
Yes. Well, I will. In fact, I was mentioning before the interview that the director of the South Florida Caribbean Chorale, we have been around for the past, I'm the founding director for the past 22 years, and every year we've been doing concerts at Christmas and also here. I don't know what Christmas will look like, but we're going to be looking at it this week. And so if we're doing anything for Christmas, we'll let you know.
Yes.
We're going to have 2 Spanish Christmas carols. I don't know what they are yet.
Wonderful.
We did it in Surinamese, we did it in French, we did it in Haitian, Creole, we did it in Spanish, Jamaican, and English. So,
thank you for making us part.
Oh, yes. No,
That'd
absolutely.
be great.
Absolutely.
You guys can come here, we can go there, but we'll just make it happen.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, Steve.
Thank you, Elaine.
Thank you, everyone. We love you. We bless you. And we'll see you next week here at 2 o'clock. Don't miss it. And don't miss next Monday at 8 p.m. Viva las Tardes, which is live in the afternoons with Elaine, because we made a switch. Isn't it exciting?
Yeah.
And this program will once again play live, and it'll have a lot of surprises for everyone to enjoy. God bless you. See you soon. Bye-bye.
Bye.